and win from it. We know it's the playstyle they like to use. Nidalee being banned often means they leave the Rek'Sai open and then go for potential first pick for Svenskeren. Unless he has changed his playstyle as well. We're going to have to see.
Goro's going to be fairly happy with the Nidalee ban. It didn't sound like he was intending to play it. The last time they won, it was up against Gambit last week, and they pulled out the Olaf. Let's see what they do here, though. Cho'Gath also banned away. SK Gaming going to go ahead and throw another one. This time it's at Fizz.
Okay, that's against Jwaow in the top lane, obviously, even though we have seen jungle Fizz as well from Airwax. But Jwaow has played it, and honestly, this is just the snowball picks SK Gaming are hitting towards. They say, we will beat you every time in the mid game. We will beat you in the late game. We have the better teamwork. Obviously, the two coaches, wow.
I think they're coordinated today.
Yeah, matching the ties.
They look
the
good,
shirt,
though.
Everything. Almost look the same.
Yeah.
Who do you prefer? Inner Flame or Yamato Cannon, just by the looks?
That is a tough question.
That's a tough one.
They're both quite fly.
They are. They're good-looking men. Good-looking men. See, I'm not using beautiful. Good-looking now.
Handsome, I think is the word you're looking for.
That's very true as well.
Sejuani is also banned now. So a fair amount of junglers thrown out. There's the Cassiopeia ban. You know, Kori ran Victor a couple of times.
This disabled set, though, here yeah, on 5.5.
So he's not going to have a chance to run that again.
No, that is gone for him. So Cho'Gath, obviously, we would assume being a mid lane ban. Clearly, MYM knows something we don't from the potential scrims that's been happening over the last few weeks. But yeah, SK Gaming, as I said before, they target all the snowball picks from MeetYourMakers. Now, Jwaow, if he wants to know champion where he can be a carry, it would be Aurelia for him. He locks in, but he's gone Maokai a few times already if it's been left open. Look at the setup here. They can go Nunu Lulu if they want to. They can go Nunu Maokai. And then suddenly, you can build a combo around MrRalleZ, the guy we just talked about. Has gone from 3.5 KDA before Noxiak joined to 9 KDA. Lulu and Nunu are two of the best champions on this current patch, and they should never be put together, because there's going to come a hyper carry from MrRalleZ, and SK Gaming need more than a Z to kill that.
And here's the thing, too. So not only do they take away the Lulu, which, while nRated's been moving in slightly different directions lately, that was kind of his mainstay support, they've also almost dared SK Gaming to go out of the comfort zone on AD carries since they've left Lucian up, but they're also kind of saying here, we will get a hyper carry and we will make him big.
And Lucian obviously doesn't have the same early power as a Graves. Lucian is like a discount version of Graves in terms of the laning phase at least. In terms of the mid-game power as well. It's more late game.
Still a bully, does a lot of work.
He's still good, but not Graves level.
Exactly.
In that sense. So, Svenskeren looks to be going to Rek'Sai again. Problem is, Nunu is a jungler who can control these aggressive junglers really well because he gets that early side stone, and even if Rek'Sai finds him, you just snowball him in the face and you run away, and there's not really any kill pressure in that sense. It just means that Horror needs to be careful if he goes for a gank, because if the counter gank happens, that's where he can get shut down completely in the 2 versus 2 situation. But we're fully expecting a Juggernaut composition from MeetYourMakers in this setup here. They got everything covered. They can even go Maokai top lane for Jwaow, and you couldn't ask for a better Juggernaut setup.
No, not at all.
I guess, no, sorry, I mean, it's going to be Lulu top, I guess, in that case.
Well, okay, so here we go. We have been seeing Jinx rise in popularity, not just the Kog'Maw. This is a champion, though, that can get a little bit more involved in the active fight as opposed to just poking the back line with the ult. They're going to lock in the Ahri for Kori. Will they lock in the Jinx? That's the question for RalleZ.
Yeah, I think they're talking about which AD carry to take for the late game, and yeah. Again, would assume then it goes for as a Lulu top lane. They would have loved the Nami, been taken away by SK Gaming, so instead might have to just fall back to Janna, which exactly is not the worst thing. And that can also be why they do more of a protect the Jinx setup instead of that Juggernaut, where you often need that Nami just to add.
They can take a Thresh though, too. They can add the mobility if they want.
If they want, you know, some more early roaming pressure, you can go for Thresh. You want the Lantern, obviously, for Jinx, but...
Or a Braum for its front line.
Janna is just so good against Zed, because if Zed ever goes in on your AD carry, you just monsoon him away, and he's not going to get back in there to deal enough damage. So I would expect Janna for Noxiak, and obviously their lineup speaks for itself. It's going to be, hey, MrRalleZ, are you fit? Great. Can you just kill everyone? Awesome.
You know what else I learned is good against the Zed?
Tell me.
Urgot.
That's very true.
Found that out watching NA.
But then we would have to be like Ahri, top
we could have Urgot top and support Lulu. But let's not speculate on the craziness. There's a Maokai and a Lucian locked in for SK Gaming. So they go back to tried and true. What do MeetYourMakers end with here? That's the question.
Well, as we repeated like 10 times, I would assume the Janna for Noxiak. Unless it's going to be Lulu support and instead they take like Aurelia for him top lane, which can try and beat out this Maokai, and he can become a bit of a split pushing threat, and you have that 1-4 setup. I do not want to see Leona. That is not the support I want to see here. You don't need engage.
They're thinking about
Your entire comp is built around kiting and avoiding the all-in from SK Gaming. Like, look at SK Gaming's side here. Lucian and Zed, they spike insanely hard in the mid-game in terms of their damage.
Oh.
So once you get past that point, all you have to do is kite, and you kill everyone. I don't know why Leona has been picked into this setup. I want to see what Noxiak is going to do. Is it because of the early roaming, potentially, against SK Gaming? Janna would have fit in not so much better.
Not entirely sure. However, it's definitely a pick that MeetYourMakers have run quite often, although the success has not really arrived until Noxiak joined the squad. He's had one Leona game. He did fairly well on it. They did win. But yeah, I'm kind of questioning this one too. I think the Janna would have made a lot more sense. Or even running the Lulu support and picking a different top laner.
Again, you're already looking at SK Gaming's comp here. What happens when you have a Jinx and Nunu is if the enemy team runs a low amount of mobility, you're like, great, your tower is going to die in a second and you can't even engage on us. That's why you don't even need any engage on the side of MYM, because all you do then is simply you group on a tower and you just push it down instantly. And if there's no engage, well, fine, we take that tower. Now this Leona here, suddenly we're going to have to see if we can get some early roams from Noxiak and if he can create some picks. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really tough game for them unless they can set those up particularly. Take a look at how that goes in this game. SK, though, it's a tough team to set up early picks. That's when they are at their greatest. But now, it's time to let us know how you think this game is going to end up. Go ahead and shoot us a tweet over at LOL Esports with the hashtags MYMWin. If you think MeetYourMakers can pull off the upset, or SK win if the leading squad is going to come out #1. We're going to go ahead and see in just a minute. The crowd's hyped up. How about you guys at home? It's SK versus MeetYourMakers.
Are you hyped, Pyro?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's good.
Always hyped.
I almost spilled water all over myself there. That's how
I'm glad you didn't, though. I'm glad the hype was contained slightly.
In my water bottle. Anyway, so SK Gaming, very standard setup for them. Only, I guess, difference from the normal SK is Maokai being picked for Freddy, but we know he's a great tank player. And obviously, wants some way of trying to shut down this AD carry in the late game from SK Gaming side. And because he's not going to get as many buffs as possible, that can work for them. But really, we're looking at the Zed, pressure the Ahri in the mid lane, then you can roam. You know Zed and Rek'Sai are way, way stronger than an Ahri Nunu setup. So the mid lane pressure it belongs to SK Gaming. Lucian Nami is a fantastic 2-2 lane, so MYM do not want to fight against that. They're going to have to lane swap. Let's see if SK Gaming is going to counter it, or they're just going to fast push like they normally do if you swap away from them.
So far, it looks like we might be up for standards. MrRalleZ is going to throw the ward down, actually backing away. So yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, now Noxiak's going. No, they don't want to take that standard lane, and they will go up to the top side.
Trust me, that would have been a very easy lane for SK Gaming to win. So,
the wise move here. Then.
The wise move, and it's fun again with SK Gaming, and I want to see if they also will, if they keep doing this in the playoffs, because they are a team that never cares about, trying to counter your swap and go top lane, me doing the 2v2 there and say, haha, we have the stronger lane in your face. No, they're always happy doing lane swaps and simply fast push down these towers instead. You got the Lucian for Forgiven, he can do it. It's not a Graves, but it's enough. And obviously, the small Raptors ends up dying. Freddy picks them up, returns to the top lane, and he doesn't need to blow teleport this time around. He will always sit in that lane. Let's see if MrRalleZ is freezing it. That's what you have to do against Freddy, unless you want to go dive him early. He's setting up a freeze, so I like this from MYM at least. Noxiak is not going to do a whole lot, though, to really zone away this Maokai.
Yeah, he definitely won't now. Forgiven and nRated are going to go down to this lane, able to deal with it on their own right now. As Noxiak's just keeping Freddy away from the farm. But yeah, you're right. He can't really go all in on him without putting himself in some serious danger, overextending into tower range. So he won't be doing that for now. Meanwhile, jungle buddy system for Jwaow and Horo.
Yeah, and as you can see, Freddy's doing everything he can to get in range when the minions are dying, just to get the XP. He knows he's not going to get the farm at this point, but he just wants some XP. Early on from nRated, trying to force a flash potential from Kori.
All right, there's the charm, but Fox
that's the bubble.
Is going to be able to step forward. Kori, he's not going to get bubbled. Good flash timing, right into a couple of friends.
And a very good roam as well. No early ward being placed. That's a small mistake from SK. You know when there's a swap, the support can roam. You need an early ward on the bottom side of the map, or well, to the side where that support is. So you can potentially spot him coming in. nothing was placed, even though you have a ward on the Nunu as well from Horo, and therefore flash blown, making it very tricky now for Kori in this mid lane. Zed already does really well in the early stages. Ahri really needs to get that arm guard, she needs to get the blue buff before she starts taking over that lane completely. Well, not completely, but before she can really start fighting back.
So Forgiven and nRated still unopposed in this side. Jwaow is going to take a little while before he's going to be able to get very competitive, but he's on the same level as Freddy right now. It's actually 3-3 in farm since Freddy's been zoned back quite heftily rather.
But now MYM is pushing the lane now on the top side, which means you need to have some response to Freddy, because you know he's going to sit under that tower. So what they're doing is they're taking the two guys, the Lulu and the Nunu, move them to the top lane, and try and put pressure on Freddy. If he stays on the tower, you go 4-man and you just go dive him and you kill him. Rek'Sai or Svenskeren normally doesn't help Freddy at all in these swaps, and nRated doesn't help him either. So Freddy now just gonna back away, give this one over. Fast push coming from MYM, but SK Gaming is doing the same. The main difference is, if you look in the jungle, Rek'Sai has just been farming, not been doing anything, while the Nunu's now been forced to sit here with the team, push this one in, so they're gonna trade towers, but more farm for Svenskeren on Rek'Sai, and none of the top lane is really getting any advantage. Even a dragon is going to be taken now.
Yeah, this is the thing about going for the bottom side and forcing the bottom side. You get that dragon advantage in the early game. SK's been so great, especially in the beginning of the split, at just managing to take dragon after dragon after dragon. But MeetYourMakers are not backing off of this. They know they have to give that one up, and they're going to try and push it again.
Yeah, they can push the next one here, at least get some damage on it. They got still the cannon. You have the blood bow from the Nunu to push it down. It's only Freddy here trying to defend it. He will get a lot of farm. So MYM, would honestly have loved to see them stay just a little bit, push it down. You got Lulu.
Really wasn't much threat from Freddy.
No, you got Lulu already in the bottom lane, clearing the wave. You know SK Gaming is doing that early dragon because you haven't seen the jungler, you haven't seen the support in a while. I feel like they could have gotten some damage on that tower, but
I think so too.
Decides to back away instead from MrRalleZ, who didn't have enough gold to get a BF sword, so only pickaxe and boots. While Forgiven on his side has 1,500 gold exactly and will get his own BF sword. So now you have an item disadvantage in terms of the AD carries. So if they do get in a 2-in-2 lane, that's purely in favor of SK. It was already just from the matchup. Now it's even worse because of this item disadvantage. And that's not good for MYM. Playing a bit to SK Gaming's terms here in the swap.
Yeah, for the time being, Forgiven is actually going to move up to the top to help Freddy push out the wave, or rather Freddy's going to back away. So this will give MrRalleZ a chance to get a little bit more relevant, get a little bit more gold in his pocket, and he's going to be unopposed. However, he's still behind in the start of this one. SK's still looking good in the early game.
Yeah, so basically what SK Gaming likes to do as well is once they're taking that dragon after the swap, again, you take this BF sword Lucian, who's currently one of the strongest members, 6 minutes in, and you take him opposite lane, you're pushing the second tower, because Lulu, whilst she can wave there a little bit, she's not going to stop them from taking the tower. They will always get some hits on that tower and take it down extremely fast. So as long as they prevent Jinx from taking the bottom lane tower, SK Gaming wins out, gets the global lead. Horo right now needs to go bottom lane, buff up this Jinx, and push in that tower as well. He's doing it extremely late. He was sitting in mid lane, but they will still get a lot of damage. Okay, TP as well. This is good. So MYM is going to trade towers again.
Oh, they're going to look for Freddy first. How tanky can a tree be? I don't think it's very. That's going to be first blood, and it's over to MrRalleZ. They should be able to put some serious damage on the tower as well.
Yeah, trade it again.
Meanwhile, yeah, Forgiven and nRated are able to take one, but MYM get first blood, so that's a little bit of gold back in their pockets. We all know how snowbally a Jinx can get when she gets going. It's very exciting.
Freddy did everything right beforehand on the top side when he backed away beforehand, but here, for some reason, he didn't expect MYM to trade towers, and then he got caught on. They're going to take tier 2 as well. Both teams are just pushing in a lot of towers early.
As fast as they possibly can. Forgiven and nRated are doing this solo, however, or duo, however. Well, there's 4 members of MYM doing the same job on the bottom, but they accomplish the same goals. 3-3 is your tower score, and we're only 7.5 minutes in.
Yeah, again, that's what happens when you trade.
Uh-oh.
SK Gaming is going to get tower on the hip. They're stopping the recalls here. That's perfect.
Yeah, they stopped Noxiak right now. He's going to burn his flash, and not quite yet, but it's only a matter of time. Down he goes to Svenskeren. Deathmark now on to Jwaow as Fox gets his
in tower.
They're buying so much time, and so is Jwaow.
8 minutes in. Inhib tower is gonna die.
This is like back to the 4v0 meta, Deficio.
This is SK Gaming, and early tower pushing.
4 towers for them. 3 of them have been in the top lane. They did not stop after that. And now they'll back away as Noxiak comes back off the fountain with the low death timers. Oro smiting down the blue as Svenskeren was trying to take it away, but SK Gaming have done quite a lot in this early game.
Yeah, and what should have happened is after MYM took the tier 1 tower and SK Gaming took the tier 1 on the top side, MYM got the bottom one, Jwaow should have recalled. You didn't need him anymore. You have Nunu buffing up a Jinx. That's enough to push down against the Maokai. Even if Rek'Sai shows up, you can get some damage on that tower. And then you send back Jwaow to start defending. You should be able to push in the tier 2 as well. So you trade those, but then you already have defense to clear some of the waves so that you won't lose that inhibitor tower. MYM invested 4 members on one side. And also, remember that AD carry disadvantage, pickaxe to BF sword, that also mattered in terms of how fast SK Gaming could push. So, simply by keeping too many guys on the bottom side, that cost MYM. And obviously SK Gaming doing a fantastic job stopping the recalls in the end. Getting 2 kills as well for themselves.
And now they're looking to push in the middle. They're 3 members strong now. But there's a lot of SK Gaming here to come very, very soon. And yeah, Horo is just kind of hanging out in the jungle as well. They didn't bring him to the party. They might have gotten a little more damage on it had they done that. SK defends that one out successfully. It's not even 10 minutes yet, and we're looking at 7 total towers already down, Deficio.
Yeah, I want to see Horo though stay with MrRalleZ here. Obviously you want to farm for that Cinder hold, but whenever they go for these pushes, you need that Blood Boil really to maximize your damage on the towers. And it's the way they're really trying to play against SK and counter them by getting fast pushes down, by taking these outer turrets and then match them in terms of the global gold they get. Because again, what SK Gaming likes to do is they take down these outer turrets, they get an item advantage. You can see it already in terms of the AD carries, or it was before at least. You get the item advantage, and then, as we always say, they do the 1-3-1 setup, push every single lane, and they're stronger in every lane because they got that global gold. That's why MYM is trying to counter it by, you know, trading towers all the time.
They're just not fast enough to do it, though.
They just very few or small misplays, which then cost them the 3 towers in the top lane, or at least an inhibitor tower in the top lane. And now, while we have the arm guards for Kori, it does delay his core build a little bit, and that's where Zed in the mid game is really gonna start shining. We know he's gonna go to a side lane, he's gonna become a split pushing threat, and nobody can stop him before Ahri gets that hourglass. Then she can at least farm against him and just hold him at a tower, but she will be pushed down every time.
Will indeed. Speaking of pushing, Forgiven and Fox are looking to make this tower go down. It's 5 seconds on the next Drake. Noxiak coming around for the flank, but does he want to go in? No, just pop a ward and clear out the Rek'Sai tunnel.
Well, now for MYM setting up for this dragon. Remember this Leona pick. It needs to pay off around these fights here. We're gonna need some perfect ultis from Noxiak. But Forgiven should never be caught by that. He can just dash out of it and save himself. So all 5 from MYM are here. SK Gaming is moving in. They want to fight for it. They can push in the mid lane, and you already got top lane pushing, even though that minion wave will be stopped, at least on the way. But there's no tower to reset it. So MYM, if they start, or if they had started their dragon, they would have lost a lot more. And there's the engage.
Yep,
no?
Fox gets stunned up. Oh, he gets caught. He goes in for the death mark as well. Can he finish off? Absolute Zero coming in. Fox taken very low, but he's not taken out. Meanwhile, Horo forced to flash away as Ignite takes down his health bar. Freddy's very low. Kori coming in for the flank now, but SK, they might be softened. They haven't gone down.
Got a lot of flashes though here. 3 at least blown from SK Gaming. I didn't see if nRated also has to flash away here. Straight back.
And the tower was defended too, important for MYM.
That's the important one. And they didn't lose anything from it. Yes, okay, the tower took some damage, but they were about to be caught in a bad situation where they were getting simply out-rotated by SK. Freddy, no home guard, so he's just teleporting in.
Yeah, he saves the pink ward and he sets up for the dragon all in one go.
Jwaow has ulti, but Noxiak is late for this one now. Can MYM try and stop it? I don't think so. They're going to be too late for it.
I think they're just going to try to push middle, but Forgiven's already there to clear the wave away. So I think you're right. This one is going to go over to SK Gaming. That will be dragon number 2 for them. And they continue their control of the dragons. A wave comes out.
Oh, they went
waves
side.
Goodbye.
That means the mid lane is suddenly open here. Forgiven's going to have to use his ulti to clear the wave, because all of SK Gaming decided to back away through the bottom lane against a Jinx and a Nunu. This tower, it's going to take a long time. Block the calling. There we go.
Yep. A couple minions go down, but it won't be enough. This should be a tower taken by MeetYourMakers, so they will be able to answer back. They get their 4th tower of the game. It is 8 towers total, 4-4, 13 minutes into this game. 2-1 is the kill score in favor of SK. It hasn't been quite so bloody as we might have expected. And there's the Rek'Sai scream. It's only going to be a farm alarm.
Yeah, so Dragon 2 Dragons sorry now for SK. We'll try and respond with the mid tower, but MYM is already here. Freddy has no TP. They know he's no TP. They can engage. They're going in.
Yeah, they're going in right now to start this one off. Svenskeren caught out, and he's going down. It's MrRalleZ picking up kill number 2 for himself. So they do trade that for the tower, but still.
I'm not sure what SK Gaming were expecting there. They just blown teleport from Freddy before. He shows up in the bottom lane, and they group 4 in the mid lane. That's obviously just telling MYM, hey, engage on us. We're going to be 4v5. We can't stop you from doing it. Like, free kill. Now they just got to make sure they don't leave this mid lane unnoticed, because there's no proper wave play yet for MrRalleZ. He's going to need a shift if he goes for it, or if you just want maximum damage, he's always going to go for Phantom Dancer instead. I've seen a few Jinx builds in these like Protect AD carry ones, where either you go Infinity Edge into, let's say, BT or Zeal. Like you don't complete like Static Shift or Phantom Dancer first, you just go like Infinity Edge, Zeal, and then BT Last Whisper, and you have an insane amount of AD.
Look at that fan vote there, and you know, despite the fact that SK, by their record, and by the way they played all split, have been clear favorites, or should be clear favorites in this one, only winning by the 10% mark versus MYM. There's still some hope there with this MYM squad.
What a fan vote at least. SK Gaming is a team that never seems to win the votes.
Or by a lot. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's very close at least every time. So, after all these towers being pushed down, it's 4 for 4. The mid tower went down before. I like that trade from MYM, honestly. As long as they don't give up the next dragon, you don't have that 5th dragon potentially from SK, which we know they like to play around, but they haven't really been able to get that massive item advantage we normally see, because MYM has been so good at trading back towers. And this open inhibitor in the top lane is not really going to be a focus, because nobody can push down that far early on from SK Gaming side. So they're just going to be happy with the gold they've gotten from it, and that's basically it.
MYM are actually the ones in the gold lead too, and you know, it's important that they've been able to defend this mid lane turret time and time again, and they've managed to push in their own one on the side of SK, because it limits the map control that SK do have. Yes, they have an open inhibitor up top, but it's still going to be a little while before that's really a viable option to try and split push in. Let's see if they get this fight that they want. Freddy and nRated were stunned up for just a moment by the solar flare, but there wasn't anyone else there to really engage. No,
and this is where, again, SK often have problems, because they are not a team who plays around the vision very well. So again, if they cannot do the 1-3-1 split push, they group up and kind of surrender the map a little bit and give a lot of openings for the other team to find engages. We saw Noxiak here try and engage because they saw Zed at recall. That's why he went for that one. Obviously, before with Svenskeren died in the mid lane. They still got to try and defend this one. They need Lulu and Ahri here to clear the waves fast enough. Kori to show himself in the bottom lane though, so SK Gaming are looking for this mid tower.
They are indeed. Fox reveals the waves are cleared. MrRalleZ eats quite a bit of culling as he has to back away, and that should be enough for SK Gaming to take down the tower. Finally, 16.5 minutes in. That's their 5th of the game. They'll be able to back away now. Nice and safe. Dragon, 2 minutes away.
Next target for SK for sure. Otherwise, I just want to see them, honestly, just go back to your 1-3-1 once you get teleport ready from the Maokai. Put him in the top lane. Put the Zed in the bottom lane where there's a tower he can push in and take down. Even look for Kori. No, won't get to see him. But put Zed in the bottom lane, put Maokai in the top lane, or the Rek'Sai. One of them, it doesn't even matter almost. And then you just start that push in the top lane, because you know MYM is going to have to send someone to defend it once it reaches the inhibitor, because it's not going to reach it by the minions itself. And then you just focus on the mid tower and the bottom lane tower, the 2 tier 2, and you take over their jungle on the bottom side of the map near the blue buff, because once you do that, you also get the dragon control at the same time. So that should be the plan for SK Gaming. Zed in the bottom lane, 3 guys in the mid lane, either Maokai or the Rek'Sai on the top side, and you start pushing them down, and you force MYM back into their own tier 2 towers, and they give up dragon control completely.
We'll see if that is indeed the case. That dragon is a minute away now. Kori just pushing out the wave on the bottom side, as there are several members of SK Gaming moving in the general direction of the pit. Fox hanging out in the brush gets a clear, but there is no ward there. Be revealed. Svenskeren and Kori look like they might be button heads for just a second. The charm lands on Fox. Prevents him from going all in as early as he wanted to. Deathmark is on, but immediately Zhonya's Hourglass. But I don't think he's going to last very long after this one. Or is he? Looks like Svenskeren is the one they've caught out after the fact. Spirit Rush to move out of the way. Noxiak just trying to make the play, but nRated was there with the save and the disengage with the tidal wave. Horo now having to move out, and it was a very, very messy little fight. Let's see what the Rocket can do.
Nope.
Oh, hello, Svenskeren.
Oh my God.
Goodbye.
I was like, nope, that's not gonna hit. And then.
And the crowd loves it. That is a man advantage right now, and the Dragon is live for MeetYourMakers. That is such an
important play. You knew there was going to be the 1-3-1 setup. You knew they were going to have to surrender.
And Flame looks devastated.
Again, you knew they had to surrender that jungle pressure, and then to get the kill. Now, Horo...
Oh, wait a minute. Horo might have just given this back over.
Still alive.
There's a heal popped, but still, SK Gaming... Okay, so now it's time for Svenskeren to come back up. He has ult available, but still, there's a timing window that they have, and nRated is really low. Here comes Svenskeren to try and save the fight. Right into the back of the Dragon Pit. Freddy is starting this one off. Jwow's the one who's knocked up. Can he stay alive? The bubble connects on Kori and MrRalleZ, but they're completely fine after the fact. Freddy goes down. MrRalleZ on a rampage. MeetYourMakers are taking health bars.
4v5.
They win the fight, but they're gonna lose the Dragon.
Well, Horo's coming now. Yeah, they will lose that Dragon, but they gotta kill. So 3 Dragons now for SK Gaming. They got what they wanted. But man, MYM, they have some good answers here for what SK Gaming is doing. They're predicting what's about to happen. That kill before was so good because it allowed them to walk into that Dragon and at least stay around it. Okay, they didn't win the fight because Horo got chunked. Only small mistake from them. Had he been there, that fight would have gone for MYM. Dragon would have gone for them as well, and suddenly SK Gaming would have been pretty far behind.
So as it was.
Now it's still 3 Dragons, but as it was, yeah. Horo, sadly for him, just had that one little mistake.
Let's see that rocket again.
It's really been the one for MYM here. They know what to do, but then there's just like one little mistake from someone, and it still gives SK Gaming some advantage.
But importantly for MYM, yes, they've given away a number of things, a number of dragons and a number of turrets. However, they are playing the comp out the way that they need to. They are protecting the AD carry. They are funneling gold onto the AD carry.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, that puts a lot of eggs in the AD carry basket.
Which is what they want. MrRalleZ is a great AD carry. And he's shown multiple times, at least last year, that you can put your gold onto him and he can carry. He's not a skill shot magnet like certain other AD carries in Europe. He's able to carry late game. So if I'm MYM, I would trust in him at least.
Seems to be the best bet for right now, but they're going to have to start grabbing some dragons back. SK, that 3-2-0, they'll have that extra move speed now, as well as their additional buffs. However, it's still MYM with a slight gold lead in this one. They're starting to march down middle, but they don't have nearly enough people here to defend. Svenskeren and nRated, flanked by Fox and Forgiven, will be able to push that one back. All the same, MYM have refused to let themselves be pushed back further and further into their own jungle.
And SK now, again, because Dragon is gone, they want to swap the focus and try and take over the red side jungle or the top side jungle of MYM, because now they have the Baron pressure suddenly 21 minutes in. Honestly, I think they still just go bottom lane. Oh, well, not bottom and mid lane. You got the tier 2 turrets there. Those are the ones you can play around. That's where you can use your Z really effectively. Baiting out a Baron this early on is extremely tough, because if you do start it, you take a lot of damage. MYM just needs to not be caught right here.
And it looks like that's Noxiak who is getting caught, but can they salvage the situation? Svenskeren going down, it's MrRalleZ with an unstoppable kill as Kori. Zanya's his way out of a little bit of damage. A jungler for support traded, and what looks like a bad situation for MYM has turned even.
Turned even, yeah. Svenskeren is trying to build some tank items, but it's going to be a while before he can do anything against MrRalleZ, who's already completed their Phantom Dancer, going insanely teamfight focused, max single target damage, no wave clear with the static shift. And to go back to the point with the Baron here, if SK Gaming starts a Baron 21 minutes in, they take a lot of damage, and that's where MYM can come in and punish you. So it's a lot easier for MYM to kind of stay around and just prevent them from starting it and buy more time. But if you push the 2 lanes here around the tier 2 towers, that's where you can use your split push properly, and that's why they've gone back to it now, at least with the Z into Ahri matchup in the bottom lane.
We'll see how that one unfolds. It's definitely been pretty close so far. A lot of members of MYM, however, hanging out around the backside of the pit. We'll see what they can make of this one. They're actually going to back away a little bit. SK Gaming getting in position, just rewarding it out, or actually just tunneling it out, I should say. Svenskeren moves back.
They don't have enough out of the base at the moment, and nRated just recalled, so no wards in the jungle, so you couldn't continue your split push here. MYM just needs to keep wards on that Baron, and 1 or 2 wards the route to the Baron through their own jungle, and they should be able to move around. You got double side stone, which also opens up for these 4 sweepers that MYM likes to run very often. A lot of teams like to go for the greater stealth totem on the top laner, but MYM almost always goes 4 sweepers and try and deny more vision than they get down themselves.
We will see what SK do in the vision game. As we said, most of the split, they've definitely not been the wardingest of teams, if you can use that
I think that's
phrase.
safe to say. I don't think anyone will ever argue with you.
But it hadn't punished them too heavily until Katowice, and now, well, teams are realizing that that may be an advantage that they can use. We'll see what MYM is able to do. They're denying some vision inside their own jungle. Dragon's a minute and a half away, so that's a bit of a while before SK is going to make another contest for this one. But for the time being, Baron has been all but forgotten, just sitting up there with a couple of wards in his home.
Yeah, simply because MYM is denying SK from walking into that jungle here on the bottom side of the map, they cannot split push properly. Because if you push too far up and you don't have vision in that jungle, you're going to get collapsed on and you're going to die. You're not going to be able to react in time if they engage elsewhere on the map. So MYM is doing a very good job of denying entrance to their own jungle, really making the Z pick ineffective in that way, so he can't get his one-on-one plays. And we know what's going to happen in the late game teamfight once QSS is completed for MrRalleZ. Well, then Zed is not going to be a problem for him. Rek'Sai is not going to kill him. We know Lucian is not going to get to that AD carry either. And then suddenly it's about MYM kiting around and relying on the fact that Jinx with a Nunu buff and a shield from a Lulu is going to melt that Maokai a lot faster than SK Gaming can melt anyone from MYM. Except for maybe Noxiak. We might have to sacrifice him.
Might have to. See how it goes. Siege now on in the middle, but it looks like MYM's more interested in just pushing the wave back. They're actually the ones in SK's jungle. They're going to clear out this pink ward outside of the Dragon Pit. 23 seconds remain until that one comes up, making sure SK don't have an easy time of getting in there. They have no intention of backing away. There's the Void Rush. It's just going to go over.
They see him.
Towards the mid. They see him available there. Horo trying to zone out the rest of SK. Uh-oh, he could be caught. It looks like he's going to flash away, but he's not going to be for a very long. Wild Growth will keep him alive still. This could be dangerous. SK's actually the one who looked like they might be losing this fight. Deathmark is on. Jwaow staying alive. Kori's going to pick up Fox in the meanwhile, and there is going to be Freddy moving in. The shutdown goes in. Forgiven takes out MrRalleZ, and with that, the damage threat is gone. It's a 1-for-2 trade for SK Gaming. They can pick up Dragon number 4 right now. That looks like that's what they're going to do.
And this is the second time where MYM set up so well for these Dragons here. They know what SK Gaming is about to do. And then Horo walks in on his own, is forced to flash away. So he's out of the fight. There's no blood burn for MrRalleZ. And also the ulti from Jwaow was used on him instead of his AD carry. You saw how MrRalleZ, they had 2 members really low, but he dropped himself. There's nothing to drop. So let's see it again. Good setup here. Do you want to take that big fight? Horo completely caught out for no reason. He walks into them. Ulti used from Jwaow. He's out now. And then look at the rest of the fight. MrRalleZ has no blood boil, no shields to protect him anymore. And while they do get 1 kill, as soon as Forgiven sees that opening, he goes and finishes up MrRalleZ and wins the fight for SK Gaming. So, massive mistake from Horo. The second time now, where he's the guy being caught out. You're playing Nunu. Just sit with your AD carry. Zone for him with your ulti, and that's fine. You don't have to be the guys who start the fights.
Yeah, I think they want Noxiak to do that one. So that mistake buys another Dragon for SK Gaming and also buys quite a lot of kills. And now they're trying to clear out the Scuttlecrab. They will do it. Freddy's on the chase. And he gets smited and slows up for just a moment. But SK, you know, they have caught a whiff of some weaknesses with MYM. We'll see what they do with it. Kori takes a whole culling charge and has to back away. Now Noxiak starts the fight onto Freddy. Svenskeren
Kori's in here.
Fox and Forgiven are here. This is not a good fight to start. Noxiak just gets blown up. Here comes the wave. It's going to catch MrRalleZ. Absolute zero, but Deathmark is on. MrRalleZ oh so low, but Fox is the one going down. It's Horo who picks it up. Can he get even more? He gets a double. However, oh so low, Forgiven comes in and gets a double for himself. It's a 3-for-2 for SK Gaming.
It's a good little choke point that got them into there. A lot of AoE damage coming, but that was Kori being chunked in the mid lane, and he was very far away when that fight started from MYM. Is basically starting a 4v5, and they're really giving Forgiven so many openings in this game here to just be the big carries. Now 5-0
going from
Lucian.
0-0-0 especially. Like
he's just been cleaning up. I mean, you know Forgiven is an AD carry who's not afraid to dash in. And you know, even get to your backline if there's a chance.
When he knows you can secure the kill, he will definitely go all in on this one. So now, After the Void Rush, they wait in the brush. See if they can get a catch on Noxiak, trying to clear the wave away, but they are all on him. He should be able to get out. Lulu's shield coming in to help him. He's not going to be much help in the next fight, though, unless he gets back to base pretty quick.
MrRalleZ is still doing well on the Jinx. 5 kills, near, or close to the BT. 5 on the goal for him, so he needs obviously a little bit more before he gets it. But Forgiven, yeah, really been able to pick up a few kills. It's about the 280 carries at the moment. Obviously, Kori on this Ahri is doing a lot of damage in the fights as well. MYM just does so many things right, and then when it really matters, that's where you see the mistakes from them. And it's such a shame, because they deserve to be ahead in this game with the plays they've made. They've read SK Gaming like a book. And that should also be a bit of a wake-up call again for SK Gaming, saying, okay, if MYM, number 10 in the league at the moment, can do so well against us in the early to mid-game, we need to, again, look at our strategy and where can we fix some of our mistakes. Because coming into playoffs, you cannot make the same kind of plays or mistakes.
Not
and
against
you
Fnatic,
cannot expect not to be punished, at least, from it. It's not over yet. It's just 4 dragons for SK, so that 5th one is going to be important now. Of course, Freddy coming in.
Noxiak is going to get taken down by Forgiven. They're looking for Horo as well after the teleport had come in. He's taken down by Fox just like that. 2 kills, no smite available for MYM. SK is thinking Baron, and there's not much MeetYourMakers can do.
Baron for SK, then Dragon is spawning in 2 minutes. Can start setting up for that one after.
Smarting shots on the back.
Just that, you know, sending a message.
It's not about getting the kill.
Sending a message here from MrRalleZ. But yeah, Dragon, obviously for SK, is going to be number 5. They got 4-0. They can even start pushing on this top side. The inhibitor is open. And MYM currently is not in a position to defend it. Kori's going to try and set up a little trap here. Then realize
like
nobody's going to come down. SK Gaming is going to play it safe. Go for that Dragon instead. Set up with a few wards. You got a pink ward on nRated at least. And then you take that fight here. MYM is going to be forced to fight. They can still win it. It's not like Baron buff is impossible to beat. But you cannot go against a Baron buff and a 5 Dragon buff team. Especially when you have an open inhibitor. So MYM needs to be here and fight for this one.
It's going to be so hard for them to do, though. They need to deny Dragon buff number 5. You're absolutely right. But against a Baron buff team that's already gotten 4 Dragons to tier 0, if they can get the right angle of engage, anything's possible, I suppose. But they cannot afford to get caught out here, and they cannot afford to give this one away.
Cannot. They're moving in now, but SK Gaming have taken control around it. Oh, engage onto nRated potentially.
Oh,
got the flash.
They did get the flash out. They also burned the solar flare.
Fairly short cooldown on it.
It is a short cooldown. Much shorter than a flash, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Forgiven's going to go ahead and take down that buff. Freddy's still causing some havoc around the side of the jungle, but MYM, they're just not getting the right flank to start this one off. It's still 26 seconds until the Dragon is up. Forgiven's going to spend the calling. Noxiak just eats all of it. So throws down a ward to walk away. SK right back to middle, and they're showing their dominance here. After the mistakes of MYM have allowed them amass a decent lead in this game.
Got the bot lane pushing, they got the top lane pushing as well. It was before, at least for SK, so don't have to worry about the side lanes at all. It's just full focus on this 5-on-5. Horo is going in. Noxiak is very low.
Dragon's already done. They get it. They get the charm on Freddy, but they can't afford to take this fight. Horo, he's in so much trouble. They're going to Twisted Advance onto him. Can they maybe push him back? No, he's melting way too fast. Absolute zero. Maybe they can. Yeah. Freddy's taken down. Horo actually living through this one, but not for long as a double kill. Comes in for Fox, taking down both Kori and Horo. A triple. He's going for more. Can he find Noxiak? He's taken oh so low. Shut down finally by MrRalleZ, but they will pick up Noxiak. MrRalleZ, can he defend on his own? Well, SK's not going to go for the middle. They're going to go for the juicier target up in the top.
Get that open in here for them. You can go back to the mid lane after I'm pushing that tower. Or let's see if they can go for anything else. They got a massive wave here buffed up with the Baron. You got 5 dragons. This tower is going to die extremely fast.
Oh yeah, and it looks like MrRalleZ might be the one to follow once he can get out of there. He burns his flash immediately. Tower 1 goes down. It's still a few seconds before anyone's coming back up. Have SK done it right here, Deficio? They clear away the Nexus turrets, but now it looks like they might have to back away as Horo comes back up to push them off.
They have not, Pyra.
Not yet.
Everyone is respawned, but they got 2 Nexus towers. And Forgiven is getting another kill.
Yeah, he does pick one up, and he does also avoid the Zenith Blade. He's going to get stunned, however, and he's going to get shut down by MrRalleZ, who gets excited looking for nRated now.
Oh, is the zap?
It's not going to connect. Jwaow chasing Svenskeren. All the same, they took down both Nexus turrets and an inhibitor up at the top. We'll see what happens with the rocket.
See if he can get Sven. He can spot it.
Oh, he's going to launch it!
Whoa.
And it's dodged out. Sven learned his lesson.
That once, at least. Oh, Kori.
Oh, but Kori's here.
Did he now, Pirate? Did he learn that lesson?
He learned how to dodge Jinx rockets, but maybe not. Ahri ult charges. Noxiak, however, has not learned his lesson. He goes down.
7 times he's died now in this Leona. I would really prefer the Jenna. Just saying.
I hear you.
But MYM has still had some good plays in this game.
Some very good plays.
Very good plays. It's just simply been key mistakes that SK Gaming have punished. And it was the same deal when SK Gaming played Giants. It was a fairly even game, honestly, for quite a while. And then Giants started making some mistakes, and SK Gaming, they capitalized on them completely and won the game from there. 4 dragons now. We just got the 5th one. It's running out now. They can wait for Baron to respawn, get the next dragon if they want to, as the same setup. Still no 6% for MYM. Even though this Jinx is extremely strong at this point, you're still very far behind, just in terms of the map.
I mean, at this point, you can protect the AD carry all you want, but if your entire front line goes down and it's just the Jinx, then it gets a little bit rough. So they're going to go ahead and give MrRalleZ the red buff as well. Makes a lot of sense. Considering the composition and the situation, they want to make sure everything goes to him. Not quite full build yet. Kori nearly checks into a whole heaping pile of damage, but the rest of MYM are here. As long as they can keep that wave pushed in the top, they can do anything else they want around the map. nRated and the rest of SK are looking to polish this one off, though, and they will handily. And with a wave at their backs, they eyeball this next inhibitor turret. Noxiak dodging the Praise Seeker. Let's see what MYM can do here to defend this push from SK Gaming.
Playing the wave now, at least. They need Kori here, and they need Jwaow to be, again, the ones to really fast clear them once the wave comes in. And we can see SK Gaming, they don't feel like they need to do anything. They just want to wait for the Baron. They want to wait potentially for that next dragon as well before they do a whole lot. MrRalleZ is going to need that QSS soon. It's obviously going to be the next item for him, but he's only sitting on about 700 gold at the moment, so that's going to be a while. It won't be here for a potential Baron fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, SK has turned their attentions to the mid. MrRalleZ is going to get bubbled up as they just continue to push this one back. 7-2-4 on the Jinx. He's definitely been a monster, but SK Gaming have gotten quite a lot of kills of their own. Forgiven, 8-1-5, considering it was 0-0-0 for a long time. He really thundered back into the score box after a couple of fights went awry for MYM.
He's playing like he always does. We know Forgiven. We know he's going to be a big carry for SK Gaming.
Yes, indeed. 33 seconds on the Baron. It's being pinged right now by MYM. SK have the vision control of the pit, and they have the mandate to go for it, considering they've got a downed inhibitor up top. And some waves pushing in their favor. Looks like down bottom, they will look to start this one off, but there is a ward. Well, in 15 seconds, maybe. They'll look to start it off.
15 seconds. I like this ward right outside the Baron pit from MYM, because the ward, the ping ward you place in the Baron pit itself won't spot it, so it requires a sweeper. Now it was killed from SK. They got the Oracle Lens, obviously, from nRated, but
they know Jwaow's up top right now, so they know they have a number advantage, and there's no teleport still just yet.
Question is, do they have the exact time on that teleport or not? Or do they think it's ready, seeing as he's sitting there clearing the waves? Because it is very, very close.
It won't matter in a few moments for MYM.
They have to again.
If they can stop this. Noxiak, he didn't back afterwards. He's going to throw a ward in. This is going down really fast, though. Oro is here. The best they can hope for is maybe a steal. He go in. Oh, they don't quite get it because Fox is the one who's able to secure the Baron. Meanwhile, Deathmark onto Fox, or onto Kori rather, as Fox goes around the back. Oro, he's got nowhere to go, and he goes down. Forgiven is going to pick him up, and over the wall they go. Over the wave they go. Jwaw's going down. It looks like the rest of MeetYourMakers is going to follow, and that is looking like it might become Noxiak hustling back to his base, but he's the only one there to defend and try to stop what's going to happen next. SK Gaming in full force, looking to push this one in, looking to end the game. There are no Nexus turrets, and that's going to be it. SK Gaming cement their #1 spot in the spring split.
Yeah, guaranteed #1 now.
For the playoffs.
In the ULCS. So, second time they managed to win the regular season at least. They did the same in the spring split last year, and then went on to lose to Fnatic in the final. And obviously Fnatic went to All-Star, but this time around I'm sure SK Gaming wants to change that and be the ones to represent Europe at MSI in Florida between our two splits.
I believe you are correct there. So, they take the win. It wasn't the most convincing, as MYM had some very good plays, but mistakes after mistakes let SK amass the lead they did, and they went perfect on the objectives. The Barons and the Dragons, they all went into SK's pocket, and they were looking like they did at the start of the split when no one could top them.
It's basically what SK Gaming has showed us now in the last few games is they can play the same style, and even though you might have answers to it, if you make one mistake, they will punish you for it, and they do it. Because it's not like it's just, oh, one guy made a mistake, we won the game from. No, it's every single time MYM made just a small mistake. SK Gaming were there, got a kill, secured that dragon. Even times where they weren't supposed to get a dragon, your jungler dies just before it spawns, and yet you manage to get it because you get a kill on Horror then. So SK Gaming are really showing that they can keep it super cool and wait for your mistakes.
Even when behind, yeah.
Even when behind, or, well, even, but I really must say for MYM, for a team that looked so lost in the start of this split, the change to support has really been fantastic for them.
They brought it back.
But it's just great to see a team, you know, not giving up. Keep practicing, keep trying, despite all the problems you had in the past. You keep trying, and you get to this point now where every team is honestly respecting MYM. They say, well, MYM, they're pretty good right now. They're not a free win. Yeah. MYM plays Rocket tomorrow. Normally we would say, oh, Rocket's going to win that one, and then, oh, they can tie elements, what's going to happen? No, I'm not sure. MYM can win that game and play spoiler for Rocket and force them down in a promotion tournament.
Yeah, and you know, it all depends on what Giants does as far as the auto relegation spot too.
Sure.
I mean, there's still, it's very much up for grabs. Giants have a couple of tough opponents. They haven't really improved as much as a team, not nearly in the level that MeetYourMakers have, and this is just really, really, really big for them. So with that win, SKs, they locked in the #1 spot in the standings. Let's go ahead and throw those up on the screen.
Yeah, as we've seen a few times already, top 2, Fnatic SK Gaming is locked in the books. Rocket obviously being eliminated. MeetYourMakers, despite losing to SK here, if Giants lose the next game against Elements, they are still tied, and that's the important one. That's the main objective of MYM. Don't fall behind in terms of wins at this point to Giants. And then, of course, middle of the table, as we've mentioned so many times, they're fighting for this #6 spot. Copenhagen Wolves look pretty good at the moment, and should get it if they win tomorrow.
Yep, and now with that first place position also comes a bye to the playoff semifinals. Let's look ahead at our bracket as it stands so